Hey guys.
Hi, happy September.
Yeah, it's like middle of September. Holy cow.
Yeah?
So we had an update about a month ago. We figured it's high time we do another update here.
It sure is, and we have some really fun things to talk about this time. We are going to start off with
Apparel.
Apparel.
Woohoo!
So in the past couple videos, we've mentioned that we were starting to work on some things to sell on our website, some accessories and whatnot.
Yep.
And we finally launched our new website. So if you haven't been to our website recently, please go check it out. harmonyturbines.com. It has a whole new look and feel to it, and we have our shop on there now.
Our shop is online, and you can order whatever apparel you want from there.
We have hats, and we have t-shirts, long sleeve t-shirts, sweatshirts, and hoodies. They all basically are the same thing. They have our logo in the front, and we now have the power to change the world on the back. We're selling and shipping to the US only, so we're sorry that we can't do international sales right now. We'll work on that, but to get things started, we are doing domestic only. So please check it out. And
t-shirts, hoodies, sweatshirts, and we will be adding other stuff as we go along. Right. So this is just the beginning of our little shop. It's not just going to be apparel.
Right.
We have some ideas for other cool things.
Yes, so stay tuned for more things. Keep checking out our shop and let us know what you think.
All right, so I'm hearing some talk about this thing called KoreConX, and it sounds really involved. It sounds complicated. Should I be afraid of it? Should I be worried? Tell me about this.
All right, so let's talk about KoreConX. KoreConX is our transfer agent for our shares, and what that means is for people who create accounts with them, they'll be able to see their share volumes and share prices for any shares purchased through investments, either on Start Engine or going back to our Wefunder rounds. Your information is there now too. So Start Engine folks, you guys are able to see your share information by both logging into Start Engine and looking at your portfolio, but you can also choose to create a KoreConX account and you can log in there and also see your shares. Wefunder, you guys, because you had safe notes when you invested, we didn't have priced shares back then, so you got a safe note promising a conversion to shares. Well, guess what?
Ta-da!
Ta-da! We have converted finally the shares. We got through the whole legal process with that, and you now have shares. So unfortunately on Wefunder's website, you're not able to see that conversion. So
it's just showing the safe notes and what you purchased originally on there.
Right. So if you create an account on KoreConX, you can see your investment amount there as well as how many shares your safe note converted to. So that's exciting news for you guys because you've kind of been in the dark for the past couple years waiting for these safe notes to convert. So I just want to be clear, this is not a requirement for anyone. Our agreement with KoreConX, our partnership with them, is simply a service to you, to give you a place to go and see everything. And we have a few folks who invested both in Wefunder and Start Engine, and the beauty of this is you can just log into KoreConX and you can see everything there from both platforms. So we were just trying to give you guys a better way to see what's going on. And
pretty much everything is going to be in KoreConX as we move forward. So our transfer agent holds all of the records and holds what you would call the gold copy. So as we move off of the platforms, move out of Wefunder, move off of Start Engine, and say we go down the road and do some other things with equity, everything would be in KoreConX. So that would be the most up-to-date, most viable information. It's not that you couldn't see information still in Wefunder or Start Engine, it's just that information will begin to grow stale because they can only see what we did up through a certain point. You would need to be in KoreConX to see the most updated information if we do things moving forward.
Right. So if some of you aren't interested in registering with KoreConX, we get it, and that's fine. But if you need information about your shares, just email us. Our support email is the way to go, support@harmonyturbines.com, and we'll help you get the information that you're looking for if you're not interested in registering with KoreConX. So, but that's the biggest thing is that we finally converted those safe notes.
The safe notes have all been converted now.
So we're excited about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a big step.
Yeah.
Going back as far as a year, we had been trying to get an intern to help us do the Arduino coding on our turbines for the furling algorithms as well as the movable plates that we have in our generator. And all of those are initially going to be controlled by the Arduino code. We'll later move things into integrated circuits and PIC chips, things like that. But for simplicity, keeping it simple in the beginning, Arduino coding, lots of students in college out there and even high school play with Arduino, robotics teams play with Arduino. So that's where we started. It was a little bit of a journey, but we did finally find someone that made it past phase 1. His name is Viraj. So he is our official intern working on our tongue-tied on our Arduino code. So he's working on that for us, and we've made it through milestone 1, which is basic movements, putting some parameters to RPM speeds and how much the plates will be open and everything, because the magic happens at the generator in the beginning, then it kind of shifts to the turbine later on at the higher speeds. And then of course, everything has to go backwards as speeds drop off and RPMs drop back down. So the milestones are set to give that intern an intro into what we're doing and allow them to kind of get their feet wet, get the base code, and then build on that base code for the next set. So we've moved up to an Arduino Mega, which is a larger unit. It has 52 pinouts, and then we're integrating a whole bunch of things from phase 1 into phase 2, being able to move both the scoops and have them furl and unfurl as well as the plates simultaneously now. So we'll see how he does in phase 2.
Yeah.
And it's a big step because, yes, we could have done it. We could have hired someone to do it, but why? You know, we have schools working with us and we have internship programs already certified and established. Why would we not want to tap the intern community out there and the student community? So it's the perfect way to allow us to reach out to that community and give the students in our area a bite-sized chunk that they can work on. So it's kind of cool to be doing that with Viraj and giving him the chance to do it. He is in high school, by the way.
Right. That's the really interesting or awesome thing about this is we didn't post at his school. He found our posting somewhere and he pursued us. He pursued us quite heavily because he really wanted to do this with us. And,
we had interviewed a number of people, and so I'm happy to report that he has successfully made it past phase 1, and
awesome.
That's where we're at. We'll report more out as we go. So
the last time we did a video, we gave you a sneak peek into a side project we're doing where we are building a wind tunnel.
So the wind tunnel is not to let us get verifiable data as far as performance and efficiency, coefficient of power ratings, efficiency ratings, none of that, okay? The wind tunnel is a way that we can very quickly and easily go over and 3D print some parts, come over to the wind tunnel and test to see if we can see a marked improvement between A versus B. It's a way to compare analog between two systems and see if we like the change that we made to the scoops with B versus A. And if we then say, okay, this change has been positive, could we tweak it even further to do C or D? It'll give us a way that in miniature and very quickly with 3D printing, we can start testing various scoop designs. It's really not going to be useful for anything beyond that. So we didn't go to extreme measures, making a perfectly sealed wind tunnel with the exact sizes that we need and the dimensions that we need. You know, there is wall effects that you have to worry about with a chamber that's too small or a turbine that would be too large inside of a given chamber. All of that aside, we'll keep things pretty much to the point where we're just kind of comparing A to B and keep them small enough that we can get valid data between those two. But we're not trying to quantify just how good A is over B or look at percentages. We'll just be looking at millivolts that are generated on very tiny, small little motors that are running, DC motors that we'd be running in reverse using them as generators in this case. So it's a quick way to get some feedback on our designs. So this wind tunnel work will directly correlate and tie into work that Lawrence Livermore National Laboratories is doing for us. We had put some information out about that in our last update. Even Penn State with our water tunnel testing would have some correlation to this. And if we get to work with Northumbria University, they'll be doing computational fluid dynamics on exactly what we're looking for with scoop design optimization. Pretty much the identical thing Lawrence Livermore is doing, but at the collegiate level. So Northumbria University would be attempting to do CFD and calculations on scoop designs for us, but Lawrence Livermore has specific different project agendas that they want to look at various generative design, and they have a lot of bandwidth and tons of computing power, CPUs and everything, specifically for finding variations and permutations of our scoop designs. So it'll be exciting to see where that goes. Our little tiny wind tunnel is just the tip of the iceberg. It's just to help give us a little bit of data so that it helps us in the right direction while we're waiting on those larger discoveries to be made with the academic and Lawrence Livermore projects.
So what is this that over the past couple weeks, when I look for you and Nate, I find you guys sitting down in front of a whiteboard, drawing, you're like over there with tools, you're ordering bits and pieces, and what is all this?
We're doing work. What are you talking about? So what really happened is we got through iteration 1 of our generator, and we had, before the move, roughly done a little bit of testing with our generator, but we never got to the point where we could truly test it all together. We had our resin cast solid core for the stator, and that's finally integrated into our generator right now. So it's kind of like the Mark 1 generator was at the old shop with 3D printed parts, and it was just horrible. Mark 2, we had the solid stator.
This is transparency, folks. It was horrible.
It was awful. If you can't say that, in all honesty, you're in the wrong line of work.
Right.
We're doing R&D here, and we have to be able to say, yeah, this is crap. We need to throw this out.
Right.
So I have no bones about saying that. It taught us a lot, and we knew what we needed to fix. So we fixed some of those things. We tested what we would call kind of the Mark II generator. Much, much better. It showed us still things that we need to improve and change. We were designing the Mark III generator, but we're kind of scrapping Mark III and moving up to Mark IV with a ton of new changes, because the changes we thought between Mark II and Mark III were going to be minor. And with the data we actually got from Mark II, we're skipping over those changes we were going to make in Mark III. I know this is probably confusing to you guys, but we have leapfrogged right over those iterative changes, and we're moving into a whole new way of holding our platters and doing the stator, different things that just were very evident once we got to the point where we could test it a little further. So that's the really, really cool part, the fun part about testing. You have the ability to get in there and work with the components to the point where you're answering the questions you need to, and then you put them into effect almost immediately. We just pretty much said, okay, we're not even going to worry about machining those parts for Mark III. We're going to skip right over it to the Mark IV and make those newer changes right on the fly.
Well, that is really exciting. And even though, so this is kind of secret sauce things we can't show you, we want you to know that we are working on it. It is a work in progress.
Yeah, it's really tough to be talking about this cool generator project and not be able to show you, because we have to keep certain things held very close to the vest. And the generator is just too much of a risk, because there's thousands of companies out there that build generators and make generators, and the wrong one seeing what we're doing could lead to a lot of problems. I mean, you're investors and followers on our channel. You're smart people. You understand where these real world risks lie, and we'd be foolish to just be putting everything out there as we're developing it. Even though when we're done, sure, at that point everyone can have access to it, but we'll already be in manufacturing by that time. So being first to market's key in a lot of these cases, and it can spell the success of your company or the failure of your company if you do it wrong.
Right.
We're trying to do it right.
Yeah. And it's just been exciting over the past couple of weeks when I overhear, "Oh, yay, that worked. That's cool."
Yeah.
Or I hear, "Nope. Let's try something else."
Yeah, we even have another totally, from the little bit of searching that we did looks to be a viable patent that we can file on the generator again. So I don't know, we have to evaluate whether we're doing that and whether it's worth it, but we may be filing another patent on the generator because of some discovery that we had with how a certain thing worked for us. And that's about all we can say. Yeah. More to come on that if we actually do. So right. It's kind of cool stuff. But
yeah, very cool.
So one of the things that also became evident to us when we were doing our generator development is that it may take longer than we had hoped before we can get to the point where we can actually get data to answer that need, to answer that problem, or to patch that problem. We've actually gone out and done quite a bit of searching for a viable generator now that we finally have some funds beyond just, enough to stay alive, literally. We went out and started broadening our search for generators that could possibly work for our application, which is extremely low RPMs. We think we've come up with one that may work. It's a little pricey, and it wouldn't be a go-forward strategy where we would be buying these and incorporating them with our turbines, but what it will do is, if it works, it would allow us to start getting data, which is what we've all been waiting for. It's what we've been waiting for, it's what you're waiting for, and to sit there and put that off until our generator is at the point where we can get viable data is longer than I'd want to endure. So we are going to...
Like years or months or weeks?
Months.
That's really vague.
It could be up to a year. Generator development's not easy stuff, guys. So I don't want to sit here and flour coat this or sugar coat this, whatever it's called. I don't want to... So I don't want to sugarcoat this, guys. Doing generator work is hard. It's difficult, it's challenging, and it's a lot of hours. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of machining and making parts. But if we can get a generator that another company has made in-house and test it with our turbines successfully to actually get data, then that helps us shortcut things by a tremendous amount, many, many months, potentially even a year. I don't want to wait any longer than we have to get the data. Our turbine is already very mature, and the furling mechanism and everything on it works very well. We are ready to get data if we can just get a proper generator. So that's what this effort is for. So we're going to buy this off the shelf, or not off the shelf, but a third-party generator, see if we can actually use it for our needs to answer a lot of questions with performance and start putting some data to the actual units that we're making. In the meantime, we will continue developing our own generator. So that's about it, guys. I don't think I have anything else to put out in this update.
No,
you?
I think this wraps it up pretty good. Okay. We hope you continue sticking with us and following us here on YouTube, or you can join our newsletter. If you go visit our new website, you'll see we have the subscribe to our newsletter right there at the bottom of the web page, the home page.
Yep.
And you can join our newsletter there. So that's how we communicate with you guys. So we hope you stick around, and thank you for all your support. We continue getting emails and phone calls from you guys with encouragement and questions, and we love that you guys are engaged, so we appreciate you.
Yes, thank you very much for following us, for sticking with us, and believing in what we're doing. We're here because of your generosity, because of your support, and your belief in what we're doing. So thank you.
All right, till next time.
Till next time, guys, take care. Harmony Turbines. We now have the power to change the world.